Hello there everyone! As you can see, we're in my kitchen today, and that's because I'll be making an energy drink. I'll be doing so because as of the filming of this video, I am 17 years old, and energy drinks in my country are restricted to purchase by adults only. So this is like the only way for me to obtain one legally. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it. I started by boiling some water. I added 3 tea bags, from which I will extract the caffeine. Once the tea extract had cooled down, I transferred it into a separatory funnel, to which then I added around 25 milliliters of dichloromethane. Now I will be shaking the funnel gently, making sure it doesn't fall from an emulsion. And I need to open the cap every once in a while so it doesn't just pop off on its own. It does happen, not very often, but yeah, you really need to be careful with these two things, as either one will mess up the whole extraction. Yeah. Now, I know that my technique wasn't the best, but I transferred all the dichloromethane into a beaker. I once again added approximately 25 milliliters of dichloromethane. I then shook the funnel off camera and once again drained the bottom layer that hopefully contained the caffeine into the beaker. I prepared a very simple distillation setup. Its main purpose was to limit the dichloromethane fumes emitted during the process, and I placed whatever distilled into storage so I can just recycle it later. So now there's a bit of the dichloromethane in this flask, and it has my caffeine in it, and usually one would evaporate it all off and then use another solvent like ethanol to transfer it, or they'd have to scrape it off with some sort of tool. But since I am lazy, I invented a shortcut in which I can pour off the concentrated solution into a beaker that was apparently hot, but whatever, and now I can just evaporate it off, and what will be left is the caffeine crystals which I want to obtain. So now, here are some of the caffeine crystals. As you can see, they're very dirty, but they do smell strongly of caffeine, so I guess that's the product that I want. And now for the purification. I'll place it back on the heating plate, and I'll add this flask, and if everything goes right, I should be able to have the caffeine sublimate and crystallize on the bottom of the flask. So we'll see if that works. I'm unsure if you can see it, but there are some caffeine fumes swirling in the flask. Yeah, I think the camera should be able to get it. Also, one note, like there's crystals forming on the side of the beaker, so yeah, just make sure that you don't lose too much yield there. The whole beaker should heat up so that it sublimates away from it and just goes on the flask. Yeah, so just make sure you're keeping track of where the crystals are, and you should be fine. Alright, so one small issue, like it's not going on the bottom of the flask at all, or at least not as much as the walls of the beaker, if my camera wants to show it to you, hopefully. Yeah, now it focused. And like the mouth of the beaker is nearly just covered in, I guess, pure caffeine. So yeah, all the impurities are still stuck at the bottom and the caffeine is on the walls, which isn't according to my plan, but whatever, I'll have to deal with it anyways. I'll just scrape it off. Alright, so on video it might be kinda hard to see as it's a white powder on a white piece of paper, but that's my final yield. The camera not focusing is really not helping, but whatever. It's quite fluffy, so it's not that much, and I'll just turn it into an energy drink now, I guess. So now I'll finally be making the energy drink. Citric acid, erythritol, taurine, and finally, the entire point of this drink, the caffeine, which unfortunately is just a white powder, so it's not that exciting to see. Alright, so now the only thing left for me to do is to add some water and stir it until it dissolves, and hopefully it does not kill me. I shouldn't be drinking it anyways at this hour, but whatever, we'll see how it goes. Well, I did add a bit too much citric acid, but that's beside the point. It's quite good, like lemonade, and I did manage to tone down the bitterness of the caffeine. So yeah, I'd say that this is a success. I do definitely feel awake, or at least more than I did before. So yeah, I managed to get an energy drink legally as a 17-year-old in Poland. So that's an achievement not many can claim. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself right now. Thank you for watching. So do all the stuff that the algorithm wants, and I guess see you soon. Bye!